What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Bulls Report. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we got a new Josh Giddey update coming in from Casey Johnson, and then also Jamal Collier of ESPN had some words on the Giddey Chicago Bulls contract negotiations. But first here, on what Casey Johnson had to say, saying, I'm told that Josh Giddey had some very constructive conversations with Bulls personnel. Now, apparently, Josh Giddey met with Billy Donovan. They had lunch in Vegas during the Summer League, so there's some positive conversations going on there. So we'll dive into it all on today's show. But before we do so, if we get any more updates, we will make a video for you guys. So make sure you do hit that subscribe button now. I have a bad feeling. I'm actually going to the Chicago Cubs Boston Red Sox game, 1 o'clock this Friday. I got a bad feeling that Josh Giddey's going to sign during that game, but if he does, we'll probably still try to get a video out to you guys, maybe a little later. But if we get any more updates, we'll have video for you guys ASAP. So hit that subscribe button today if you don't want to miss a thing around your Chicago Bulls. All right, so let's dive into what an ESPN insider, Jamal Collier, had to say on Josh Giddey getting this contract done with the Chicago Bulls. And this is what he had to say. Giddey was present in Las Vegas and had lunch with Bulls coach Billy Donovan, sources told ESPN. And Bulls executives were scheduled to meet with Giddey's agent during the week. Multiple sources told ESPN they expect Giddey and the Bulls to eventually come to a contract agreement, and the two sides have had some positive discussions. So that's great news for us Bulls fans, and I fully believe this deal will get done. There's really no doubt in my mind that, a sign and trade or the Bulls just let Giddey walk, next summer. Maybe he takes a qualifying offer of $11 million, but again, I think that's unlikely. He'll get a multi-year extension. I just don't know what the holdup is. Now, the question becomes is how much per year are the Bulls going to offer Josh Giddey? Now, his camp, they want $30 million per year. And the Bulls, with having a lot of leverage in this situation, I'm sure they just want to get him done for about 25, maybe 26 million. So I guess the question also is, why isn't this done yet? Like, is there something else holding up this Josh Giddey contract negotiation with the Chicago Bulls? Now, maybe it just is literally they want 30, Bulls won't budge, but eventually one side has to give a little bit. Now, I would guess it would be the Josh Giddey's camp that ends up coming down to that $27 million per year. But if you're the Bulls, you're just kind of bidding against yourselves. Like, there's no reason to panic and be like, all right, fine, we'll give you $30 million. Now, maybe if the regular season's just around the corner and the Bulls are like, man, we just need to get this deal done, we can't have him play out on that contract or that qualifying offer, maybe the Bulls give, but I fully expect this to get done. And Jamal also followed it up saying, yet Giddey has been seeking a contract for approximately $30 million annually with little cap space available this center. Giddey's options for alternative outside of Chicago dried up quickly, giving the Bulls leverage to hold off for a more team-friendly deal. And I really do think the Bulls can get him for $25 million per year, and I think that's more than fair because, Josh Giddey, he was awesome for the Bulls this past season, but it was a small sample size of him being a $25 million per year player. Like, it was only 19 games post-All-Star break, and if you took his stats before the All-Star break and how he was playing, he's probably getting around 17 to 20 million. So I think the question also is like, how much stock are the Bulls putting into those last 19 games? Like, if they think that is the version of Giddey they're going to get, maybe even I would be open to giving him $30 million per year because he almost averaged a 20-point triple-double. He was very effective. He actually contributed to winning at a decently high level. That was a big reason why the Bulls ended up getting the 12th pick in the NBA draft. It was because of the performance Josh Giddey had in the second half. But I think he'll probably end up getting 27, 25 per year. If we do get that notification, it's 3 for 75. I think that would be highway robbery for the Bulls, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. But you guys let me know, how much per year would you give Josh Giddey? If there's a final number you guys got in your head, please let me know down below in the comments section. All right, now coming up, you guys kill me all the time saying, Patrick, you're way too negative about the Bulls. I understand they're stuck in purgatory, but there are some good spots and some bright spots on this team. So I'm going to try to be more positive to close out today's episode. I'm just going to go over 5 things that I truly and genuinely am excited to watch for the Bulls moving forward. And number one, it's got to be the face of the franchise. And a couple of guys commented on a recent video when I said Buzelis is the face of the franchise. You guys are calling me crazy for that. I truly think he is. I think he's got the most potential on this team. He's got the right mindset. I think he, really embodies what it means to be a Chicago Bull, at least the positive side of that. So just watching him develop, I can't wait to see it. He looked great in the summer league. He added some weight on his frame, and his potential, I have no idea how high it could be. He was talking actually with Casey Johnson saying he thinks he could be the best player of all time. Now, whether you believe he can be or not, I just like the mindset that he has, some self-confidence in the young kid. But, man, this guy's still 20 years old, still developing very, very well. So him, by far, like the number one positive of the Bulls organization is him. But one thing I do appreciate, and I will give the Bulls front office some credit here, they are kind of shifting to have a clear identity. They want to be an high pace, run up the floor type of team. And, they traded for Josh Giddey for a reason because he's the perfect point guard to execute that type of offense. And then they got Buzelis, and then they drafted Noah Senge. Like, having those wings on the outside, running in transition, having some defensive-minded players around Josh Giddey, like, at least the Bulls have an identity where over the last couple of years, they really haven't. It was just ISO hoops. Like, hey, Levine, you go try to get a bucket. DeMar, you go try to get a bucket. All right, we'll throw it down the Vooch in the low block. Like, at least there is a clear team identity for the first time in a while. So we'll give the Bulls front office some credit there. And then also the other young guys. Like, I understand Noah Senge looked terrible in his first summer league game, but I will give the kid some credit. The balls you have to be able to bounce back when everybody's, dunking on you, literally and figuratively. We know that Johnny Furphy poster was one of a kind that he had on a Senge, but he showed some flashes. He's a hyper athlete. He was defending at a very high level. He's got these super long arms that allows him to reach over the top of the defense when he's putting pressure on the rim. So guys like him. And then also I am excited to see Josh Giddey. Assuming this will get done, he'll be the point guard of the future in Chicago. Like, just seeing how he develops. Like, can he develop that three-point shot? I saw some videos of him working out. The jumper looks like the speed has increased just a little bit, which is huge because he does have a slower motion when it's he's in the shooter's pocket, getting to the top of his release. So seeing that speed up was a positive sign. And then, he's a 6'8" guy. Like, hopefully he'll be able to defend at a decently high level at some point in his NBA career. And then lastly, I'm going to go Ayo Dosunmu. You could throw him in the category of the other young guys, but Ayo is one of my favorite players on the team. Now, I don't know if I'm just drinking Chicago Kool-Aid and it's because he grew up, went to Morgan Park, played at U of I, but like, I love the tenacity he plays with, and I love the development we have seen year after year. He's added just a little, couple of tweaks to his game every single offseason, and I think he's a guy next to Josh Giddey. If the Bulls do decide to move off Kobe White, like, that's a perfect fit. Ayo's elite in transition, an elite point of attack defender, great corner three-point shooter as well, which could be key, especially if the Bulls are going to run Buzelis a lot more in the pick-and-roll action, just to have another shooter in the corner, because it may be like, Ayo in one quarter, you either got a Senge, Patrick Williams in another, and then Josh Giddey also at the top of the key, and then that big run of that pick and roll with Buzelis. Like, I like that look the Bulls could also give, but even throw Kobe White in for the other young guys. Like, maybe Kobe could somehow be a good defender at some point. I think it's more of a want thing with him, but even though this was hard, I tried to get positive about the Bulls on today's show. But if you guys made it to the end of today's show, hit me with a C red down below in the comments section. Hopefully we get this Josh Giddey news soon. Again, I'll be at the Cubs game on Friday, so if anybody's there and recognizes me, please come up and say what's up. But it's going to be a fun time, and I just can't wait to see this Bulls team play next season. But also make sure you guys hit that subscribe button on your way out. Keep you guys posted with everything. We'll see you guys next time. As always, go Bulls.